Good morning, Cullman. Thank you for joining us on Cullman Today. I'm your host, Christine Wiggins, and today is Monday, December 8th. Coming up on Cullman Today, a former Cullman political candidate is back in the spotlight, this time facing serious felony charges tied to an elderly victim. Plus, as bitter cold settles in, Cullman has a plan where you can go to get warm and how local shelters will decide when to open their doors. And state troopers are sharing sobering Thanksgiving travel numbers, what they're seeing on Alabama roads and the risky habits behind the crashes. All this plus sports, weather, and more. Now let's take a closer look at the top stories happening in Cullman today. Cullman police say a local woman is facing multiple felony charges after an investigation into the financial exploitation of an elderly victim. A Cullman County grand jury indicted 58-year-old Verna Hammons Jackson of Cullman on first-degree financial exploitation of an elderly person, illegal possession of a credit or debit card, second-degree theft of property, and first-degree attempted theft of property. Investigators arrested Jackson on December 5th near Main Avenue Southwest and Catherine Street, following what the department describes as an extended time-intensive case. Police credit investigators Shannon Cheatwood and Officer Kyle Foshee, along with the Cullman County District Attorney's Office, for working together to bring the charges forward. Jackson is known to some Cullman residents from a previous run for mayor in 2012 and earlier media attention tied to a past television appearance. The case remains active and additional details could be released in future court filings. Jackson is presumed innocent unless and until is convicted in a court of law. As winter temperatures drop, warming stations are in place across Cullman County to give people a safe place to get out of the cold. In the city, the designated warming shelter is the Donald E. Green Active Adult Center at 1625 Cleveland Avenue Southwest. It may open when the forecast calls for 28 degrees or below. Anyone planning to stay overnight must check in by 9 p.m. If no one has arrived by then, the shelter will close, but police can reopen it on request. Guests are asked to bring their own bedding and personal items. Pets, weapons, tobacco, and alcohol are not allowed. The space is strictly for public warming. A Cullman police officer will be on site for security, and local volunteers may assist. Countywide, Cullman EMA works with VOAD, churches, and community groups to support independently operated warming stations, including Garden City First Baptist Church. EMA shares verified openings and updates through social media and local media partners and encourages church or groups interested in hosting a station to contact the EMA office for guidance. The Alabama Law Enforcement Agency, ALEA, says 7 people were killed on state roadways during the 2025 Thanksgiving travel period. The stepped-up enforcement ran from Tuesday, November 25th through Monday, December 1st, with extra troopers from Highway Patrol and specialized units on the road to cut down on crashes, injuries, and deadly driving behavior. The 7 fatal crashes happened in Chambers, Houston, Jefferson, Limestone, Lowndes, Sumter, and Talladega counties. Among those killed were 4 drivers, 2 passengers, and 1 pedestrian. Of the 6 people riding in vehicles with seat belts, only 1 was buckled up. In all, troopers worked 697 traffic crashes, issued more than 2,500 citations and 1,400 warnings, and made 20 DUI arrests. Investigators say speeding, driving too fast for conditions, and DUI were key factors in the deadly wrecks. As the holiday season continues, ALEA leaders are urging drivers to do their part. Slow down, buckle up, stay focused, and never get behind the wheel impaired. And that's all for our top stories this morning. Coming up, West Point athletes are on the move. Warrior runners set a new school record at the Magic City Invitational, while the hoops teams battle Cold Springs and split Friday night's doubleheader. Sports is next. Welcome back. Let's kick off sports with the West Point High School's track and field team, where they hit the indoor track at the Magic City Invitational this weekend at Birmingham's Crossplex, taking on athletes from across the state in nearly 30 events. Sophomore hurdler Rush Lamar started things off in the boys' 60-meter hurdles, placing 13 out of 34 with a time of 9.45 seconds. In the girls' 1600, senior Dorothy Salter set a new West Point indoor record, finishing in 6:16:40, then came back for the 800, placing 53rd out of 84. In the boys' 1600, senior Jesus Tovar ran 5:18:52, while Miles Fairchild competed in the long jump. West Point returns to the Crossplex for the Holiday Invitational on December 13th. Over on the courts, the West Point Warriors and Lady Warriors hit the road to Bremen Friday night to take on Cold Springs, and the two schools split the varsity doubleheader. In the girls' game, West Point used a big second half to pull away and defeat Cold Springs 68-43, extending the Lady Warriors' win streak to 10 games. Cameron Faulkner poured in 26 points, with Keely Harbison adding 15. For the Lady Eagles, Ella Dickerson scored 13, and Cadence Williams finished with 12. In the boys' matchup, West Point led at the half, but a huge third-quarter run lifted Cold Springs to a 58-43 win. Lyndon Hill led the Eagles with 15 points, while Maddox Chapman scored 20 for the Warriors. And that wraps up sports for today. Coming up next, how one local chapel's annual ceremony helps families remember loved ones during the holidays. And a Hanceville High robotics team is turning nuts and bolts into big results. Welcome back. Now it's time to speed things up with a news rundown. 4 stories in under 4 minutes. The Brandin Iron Steakhouse in West Point has marked a decade of serving a free Thanksgiving meal in honor of local veterans. This year's event, held November 24th, brought together restaurant staff, community sponsors, and volunteers to serve a traditional home-cooked holiday meal to more than 800 veterans and their guests. Organizers say the annual dinner is a way to make sure those who served our country feel appreciated and connected during the holidays. Local veterans organizations, community partners, and area schools helped prepare and serve food, provide space for cooking and storage, and support logistics behind the scenes. The event has grown into a standing Thanksgiving tradition in West Point, focused on fellowship, gratitude, and giving back to the men and women who have worn the nation's uniform. East Elementary's garden turned into a Christmas wonderland Friday night, complete with cocoa, lights, and a semester's worth of a student's work on display. Annabelle House stopped by as young gardeners showed off their outdoor classroom and shared what the garden has meant to them.
East Elementary kicked off the holiday season on Friday evening with a festive garden club celebration. Families enjoyed cookies, hot chocolate, and a glowing outdoor light display in honor of the school's young gardeners. The event capped off a busy semester for the garden club. After cocoa in the lunchroom, families walked through the outdoor classroom where twinkling lights turned the garden into a whimsical winter walkway. This fall, students installed a donated waterfall and pond from ProWorks, moved the sensory garden, created new flower beds, planted vines, and even turned their old pond into a mini pond. Students say the semester was full of learning and laughs, from digging up more than 100 worms to accidentally harvesting loofahs as zucchini and nearly sending them to the lunchroom. Two East Elementary 5th graders Henley Nicholas and Eden Kahn shared what they most enjoy about Garden Club.
Garden Club is really nice. My granny is 94 and she has a garden in her backyard, and I like to help her in it. It's really fun, and I like seeing all the plants in the wildlife.
Families explored the glowing garden Friday night, where lights wrapped around planter boxes, ornaments decorated climbing vines, and inflatable critters greeted visitors. Students say they're already excited for spring, especially the annual garden baby shower in April. The Garden Club will return next semester, and students say they're ready to get their hands back in the dirt. This has been Annabelle Howes with Cullman Today.
Hanceville High School's robotics team is celebrating a big win after competing in the county tournament on November 21st. The team brought home the coveted Excellence Award and was named overall champion in the teamwork category, highlighting both their engineering skills and how well they work together. Their coach, science teacher Shauna Acker, says this season moved fast with only about 2 months to design, build, and test their robot instead of the usual 5. Students stepped up by dividing roles, some focusing on coding, others on driving and design, and learning to communicate with partner teams on the competition field. Several team members say robotics fits right in with their future plans, from electronics and computers to technical trades, and Acker hopes to connect them with local professionals and sponsors to keep the program growing. Moss Service Funeral Home will host its 9th annual Tree of Remembrance ceremony on Tuesday, December 9th at 6:30 p.m. in the Moss Service Funeral Home Chapel on 2nd Avenue Northwest in Cullman. The service gives families a chance to come together during the holidays to remember and honor loved ones who have passed. The evening will include music from inspirational singer and songwriter Brent Vernon, followed by a community ornament placing and memorial presentation. Families are invited to bring one or more labeled ornaments to hang on the Tree of Remembrance in honor of those they've lost. Refreshments catered by Stonebridge Farms will be served after the ceremony, courtesy of Moss Service. RSVPs are appreciated but not required. Anyone planning to attend can call 256-734-1821 for more information. And that's your 4 stories in under 4 minutes. Now for a quick break before we look at the weather and pay our respects with obituaries. I'll be right back after this quick message. Let's take a moment to pause and remember those who have lost their lives this week. Barbara Lazella Purcell passed away Friday, December 5th. Funeral service will be held today at 1 p.m. at Cullman Funeral Home Chapel with interment in Chance's Crossroads Cemetery. Visitation will be held today from 11:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. Glenda Sue Boyd Van Zant, 89 of Hanceville, passed away Friday, December 5th. Funeral service was held Sunday at Hanceville Funeral Home Chapel. Ruth Keevan, 88, passed away Wednesday, December 3rd. Visitation will be held today at Moss Service Funeral Home from 5 to 8 p.m. A celebration of life will be held Tuesday, December 9th at 10 a.m. with committal service at Center Hill Cemetery. Lila Mae Freeman, 87, passed away on Friday, December 5th. Visitation will be held today from 10 to 11 a.m. at Moss Service Funeral Home with a celebration of life funeral service following. A graveside committal will take place after the service at New Prospect Baptist Cemetery. Tony Sue Busby, 79, of Bremen, passed away Thursday, December 4th. No services are planned at this time. Karen Cassandra Rogers, 62, passed away Thursday, December 4th. Services will be announced at a later time. Our thoughts and prayers go out to their friends and families. Now let's take a look at your weather forecast. Today stays mostly cloudy and chilly with highs only in the upper 40s and a bit of a north breeze, occasionally gusting around 20 miles per hour. Tonight, clouds clear out and it turns cold with lows dropping into the upper 20s under mostly clear skies and light wind. Tomorrow looks nice but cool, plenty of sunshine with highs near 50 and just a light south breeze. Tuesday night stays mostly clear, not quite as cold as tonight, with lows in the mid-30s and a south wind that could gust up to around 20 miles per hour. And that wraps up today's edition of Cullman Today. Thank you for sharing your morning with us. And remember to stay connected by following us on social media and visiting CullmanTribune.com for the latest from our community. We'll be back bright and early tomorrow morning at 6:30 a.m. Until then, I'm Christine Wiggins with Cullman Today. Have a great day, Cullman.